So, dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So, this is our ongoing meditation session. And let me get connected with our other network, and then we're ready to start the session for today. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body, and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you focus into the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to share some basic informations for yourself to develop a very good spiritual foundation. So when it comes to our spiritual foundation, we always have to focus to our inner development. As a person, you have to develop yourself with the profitable skills. But when it comes to our day-to-day life, what happens, day by day, we develop our unprofitable lifestyle. And as a result of that, even though we look for happiness and satisfaction on the surface level, we end up our day being more unhappy, sad, worried, disappointed. So this itself creates a kind of like a unbalance inside us. So when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, the major foundation of the teachings is Four Noble Truth. So when it comes to that Four Noble Truth, the very first truth is dukkha, or it's an unsatisfactory nature. So one thing we have to understand, we have to accept the life as it is. So the very meaning of the nature itself means the change and uncertainty and unsolid, movable, And one of another meaning of nature is kind of like unknown, or the cloudy, dark, dusty. Those are also meaning of nature. But most of the time we don't see that. When we say the nature, we like to experience. It's kind of like a people so attached to nature, but we don't see the very behavior, the very character of the nature. So just as example, then look into yourself, and when you mean by natural people, what does that mean? That means that person blend with the good and bad both. It is like, when it comes, it's normal. So normal, so what does that mean? That means it's blend with good and bad both. So our purpose is not just become natural like that. Because being natural like that way never going to end. This going to be the same like this, and we keep repeating things. And another meaning of that natural is you can't interfere. You can't change. You have no power over it. And it's not done by someone. So it itself also doesn't have any kind of mechanism or the method to hold it to anything. So when you come to that level, so understanding nature means it's like you understand the very change. So when it comes to this Four Noble Truth, the dukkha means the change. And unsatisfactory nature. So why this happened? It's not happened itself. Why it happened? Because we have this grasping nature, holding nature, or the desire to interfere, take, the desire to maintain the way we want. So you have some idea, then you start to interfere with something, and then you always struggle. So that is where this unsatisfactory nature arises. So in case if you withdraw your desire, if you don't interfere with something, then there is no that kind of suffering come to you. Because things itself change. So then you okay with that. But ourselves, we have some kind of ideas, and then we interfere with it. But in day-to-day life as ordinary people, how we can understand it a little bit more deeply and apply it to our day-to-day life, and in the very first level, build up a very comfortable, tranquility life. So this is not a kind of like a go into deeper spiritual. So first we have to build, we have to look how we can build up very comfortable. The comfortable means deeply you are balanced with the situation. So that is comfortable. Not that you find like a comfort, like lying down on your couch or the bed. Oh, it's not like that. No, when you understand the very nature deeply, then that gives you kind of like a comfort. So this is what we talk, like in the ordinary life. So go into deeper spiritual practice, developing your high mental powers, and deeper into vipassana level. This is little bit far. So this one in the very surface level as ordinary people. We're going to approach to the Four Noble Truth, but from a different route. It's kind of like taking the different window to look, different lens to see how you can, because sometimes it may help. So that means when it comes to suffering, there's a very famous monk called the Thanissaro Bhikkhu, and he mentioned this stress is suffering. So now you can bring that spiritual explanation to our material like this conventional life. If you have the stress, so that means you are suffering. So for that, so one is this Four Noble Truth or the suffering, this one is that you understand. And in this method, you practice to get out of it. You develop a kind of like a method. You cultivate a path. You develop a path you work to do something to get out of it. Not just by intellectually, you deeply going to deeper Vipassana level of meditation and understand. No, this is very soft level on the surface level in this conventional life. You start to do, because people like to do things. We like when we say, oh, you do this, people like to do this. So it may help for you also. So in the very first level, that this stress, from where this stress come and why it happened. So Venerable this Thanissaro Bhikkhu mentioned, this stress is the suffering. So there are reasons for that. And because if you don't have any stress in the ordinary life, you have very comfortable mindset. So there is another scholar that his name is Robert Sapolsky, and he is a neuroscientist professor, and he explained how this stress level becomes suffering, and how you can in very conventional life, how you can get out of it. So we're going to use this both explanations and build up the method how you can get out of this. So how the stress happens. So now you have to remember what is the stress means, the suffering, how this because when the body come to a kind of like a situation, fly or fight, it's a kind of like it come to resist something and come to survival mood, and at the same time it doesn't have a moment to settle down. So that is where the stress, it's a naturally your body, it's start to react in a certain way. And once it become kind of like, sometimes it's having this stress is very necessary. We need that. But the thing is, once it start to happen when you don't want, or when it start to happen, if you don't know how to overcome it, or when it start to happen, you have no idea what's going to happen next, then that's going to become very difficult for us. So that is what here it calls the stress. That is where your suffering start to build up the fear in a certain level. So this physical chronic stress start to build up. What happens by the time we lose the balance, the physical balance, and at the same time it shut down our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, the perception. So then you can't see, you can't hear, and everything start to flip, start to turn to something else. So that is become dangerous then, because whoever in front of you, if you can't see, if you can't hear, then it become a major problem. So that is why this is a kind of like a way it is for our conventional life important. So in that field, especially this Robert Sapolsky, this doctor mentioned how this stress can develop in you more neurologically, according to the neuroscience. So one is this high blood pressure. It's not for one day, but every day. If that, maybe because of your bodily action, verbal action, or mental action, if it start to develop high blood pressure, then what happens? By the time your nerve system, immune system start to develop something, and as a result of that, your stress level go higher. So that is one thing. Another one is overeating. So this manageable. That's why it is important. This suffering here, according to this suffering or this dukkha, is manageable, changeable, and fixable. And you can understand it. You can change that. So that's why even the Buddha come to this world and, give the Dharma, because you can attain to enlightenment. So like that. So one thing is, if your blood pressure go high always and start to calm down a little bit. So it is your personal responsibility to take care. And the second one is overeating. So start to look yourself. And you can have some kind of discipline yourself when you start to eat, and to have some kind of balance. Eating is very necessary. We all have to eat. But here we talk about the overeating. And the other one is this lack of sleeping. See, that's manageable. You can manage it. This is about the convention, but in the spiritual life, and when you practice meditation, yoga, there is a kind of like a way that you can practice some kind of things without sleeping. It's a kind of like a yoga called Jagara Yoga. So you don't sleep that much. But here, as an ordinary person in day-to-day life, if you have a very conventional life, family life, you can't go into that kind of meditation practice. So then, because if you work so hard during the daytime, so then your body needs some rest. And then all night, maybe watching TV, drama, or whatever happening, YouTube or the Facebook, so TikTok. So this manageable. You need some sleep. That deeply help for this nerve system. Another one is this autoimmune disease. And that's one thing is that we have very lack of understanding regarding the behavior of our physical body, and our own lifestyle sometimes build up this immune disease. So then you have to go into deeper to understand your immune system. It is different person to person, but there are many ways that you can overcome, especially drinking water. And there are a lot of vegetables, and there are a lot of way that the way you maintain your lifestyle, you can overcome this. Another one is that the ideas that we hold regarding the life in our memory sometimes start to build up this immune disease. So that's why you have to know a little bit how this body pain, the work. So the next one is that always we into kind of like high pain sensitivity, and we give so much pain to the body. Like sometimes we work in places with the kind of like a huge sound, or maybe you work in a place kind of like a deep pressure, and so much cold, even though you have some kind of cloth wearing, but when you start to work every day, it's like few hours, then by the time it affect for your body. Or maybe with the heavy machines, this is small Lilliput like people us, we start to work with these huge machines. So then as a result, only thing is maybe we can't get out of that, but we have to know it can affect for our life. So that is the one thing that, and this all fixable. There are methods. Even though you have to work in kind of like that situation, there are some solutions you can bring. But most of the time we neglect, and then our body slowly addicted to that environment, and then we get used to that. That is what happened. We don't want to prevent. So next one is that the losing memory. And it's the kind of like we take it as a problem. That is what we all, we all use the memory. But once you start to take it as a problem, oh, I lose my memory. Oh, I forget. So like that, when you become worried, and as a result of that, what happens? Your stress level start to develop. But if you understand the very nature of the life, behavior of the life, and it's you understand, you're not going to become worry about it, because being worried not going to fix that problem. And the next one is this psychological state, anxiety, anger, and being always so quick, and things we need the kind of like our personal behavior. And that is where this is deeply talk about this lower economical stages, like poverty, create this psychological state around the people, because they always become worried, disappointed, unhappy, because when they go through the poverty, it creates kind of like a bad lifestyle. And what happened when the stress level build up on that, it's in the beginning become normal, and then unknowingly it become bad, and that bad behavior, it start to become worst. That's the thing. That's why in Buddhism, anywhere, it never appreciate this poverty. But a lot of people misunderstand that. Oh, we don't need that. Oh, this is enough for us. Oh, we stay, whatever we have. No. So see, because this lower economical stages of poverty, this the psychological environment, an effect for us to do the bad things, unprofitable things, unskillful things. And then what will happen? Actions bring the reactions, and we have no power to stop the result. So we deeply need to understand then, we have to teach to children not to be poor. We have to tell them to be rich. There is no way that without being, without money, there is no way that you can have a comfortable life. So that's why when, go to school, study well, go to high school, university, and find a proper job and earn something. And other thing is this financial literacy, how to maintain money, saving, having some saving, not to spend too much not to spend for unnecessary things. That also will help you to get out of the suffering. So otherwise we blame, oh, life is suffering, life is, no, it is our behavior take us to that level. So the Buddha many times talk about that, how to maintain the life, like a conventional life, household life, and how to manage yourself. But what happens when people start to practice poor noble truth? Oh, life is suffering. Oh, we have to get out of this life. Oh, I want to find the Nibbana. It's kind of like a very miserable way we approach to this Dharma. That's why we can't find the deeper truth. See, this even, that's why even this neuroscience, that also mentioned that how it linked with the Dharma. That's what I want to bring. So that's what you have to understand. And when you raise children, when you have the household life, family life, then you have to teach your children how to maintain this physical material world and how to get the best out of it, because it is a science. If you don't do that, they always have to go behind somebody else. They have to work for someone else. That is what's going to happen. It may happen to you, but now it's fixable. You can understand it. And then you have to teach to your next generation. And get out of that and get out of this suffering. So then that way you build up that. So those are kind of like reasons that you gain the stress. And for that, how you can reduce this stress? Because that's why you can prevent from this. You can take actions. It's not practicing meditation, go for noble truth and vipassana, where are the meditation? No, there are, see this, you have to think and act. You have to be very active person to get out of the suffering, not to escape from life. Because most of the time we see people start to practice meditation, start to have a very long pace. It's kind of like depressed. But you can't know. Dharma is not like that something. So the very first thing, so that's why the government or the good president or the good cabinet or the parliament or the leaders is important. Because reduce this social, economical unbalance. So having, giving opportunities to people and develop the country is one way to get out of the suffering. Get out of the dukkha. And so then that is one thing that we have to see. And sometimes we forget that. We think, oh, we practice meditation, forget about other things. No, that's where this politics is important. You have to be aware, because by the time, and maybe if you don't aware about it, and if in case there is a very bad leader become the president, by the time people become poor, as a result of that, everybody going to get stress. And then, so that's mean what? The suffering. Everybody going through the suffering. So, but if you are aware, if you become mindful, understand, and then you select a good leader, and then he work hard and give plans, opportunities to people, and reduce the unbalance, and then make people rich and give the opportunities, and that is one thing, and get out of the suffering. So that is one thing. So the next one is developing healthy lifestyle. So that also you can do. Not to drink, it's kind of like not to drink too much, or, in the conventional, because even we say don't drink, people are not going to listen to that. But you have to remember, you can develop a very healthy lifestyle and get, not to smoke, and overeating, so you can get out of that things. And when you eat, and you recognize what is good for you, if it is bad, you don't eat it. So like that, healthy lifestyle will help you to get out of the stress or the suffering. And maybe because if you don't care, then by the time you keep eating, drinking, smoking, then by the time, just imagine you are the father, you are the mother, you are the child, you are the husband, wife, and by the time if you get sick, what will happen to your whole family? Everybody start to go through difficulty. So that's a kind of like a suffering. No one can be happy around when, when someone in the family gets sick or the not well. See how it go. If you are healthy, then that benefit going to go to other people also, and not too much to go to hospital or the doctors, or like that. Otherwise, if once you become unhealthy, if you go through difficulties, health issues, always have to go to hospital, or always have to bring the ambulance, or kind of like that. It's very difficult. It's difficult for you and difficult for others. And then the third one is developing a very profitable hobby. That's very important. It's kind of like whatever that you do as a hobby, it should be profitable. It should help for you to develop yourself. And so then we all have kind of like hobbies. And that's why sometimes as a hobby, some people drink, smoke, keep talking, so kind of like that. But if it is not profitable, maybe, driving here and there, it's a hobby. So how about you do it's a kind of like, things that make you profitable. You like to drive, and then do the Uber. Then it's you will enjoy. Be a truck driver, from this side to other side. You can drive. See, you have a hobby. So whatever the hobby, and if you want to kind of like writing, so that help for you. But most of people have the most of the hobbies, they kind of like they collect. collect. But as you know, by the time what happened, this whatever you collect, you have to throw away, or maybe other people will throw it away. So that kind of hobby is unprofitable. Maybe there are some things, maybe once a while you will find something good, or maybe you can sell it for a higher price, but it's not going to happen all the time. So have a hobby kind of like a profitable for you, make you wise, or maybe you listen to reading, kind of like reading a book, or listening to audio book. So kind of like, and walking, that also is good. So like that, keep a hobby. So the next one is having, that's very important, the fourth one, this social connection, healthy social connection, having good friends, even as a husband, wife, or friends and family members, keep developing a very comfortable, good human connection. It's very necessary. That's the very meaning of building up like this Sangha also, because it is very necessary for us. So then yourself, every day you look what kind of people around you, because it's kind of like every day some people can put some kind of dirt into you related to greed, hatred, and the delusion. Then by the time you will going to get it. Don't allow people to do that. So have a very healthy social connection. Find out some good people around. And the next one is doing exercise. In the Tripitaka, it doesn't talk that much, but it's nothing to do with the Tripitaka here. In this conventional life now, we all know doing exercise is very necessary. So then yourself start to do some kind of exercise. And doing yoga is very good. And doing Tai Chi, like that things, it's very good. When you get older, you keep the flexibility, balance, strength. So that kind of things. Walking, and if you can go to the gym and work out. So like that, if you can do it little bit every day, that's good, like 40 minutes like that, that's very good. Otherwise, within 48 hours, repeat that whatever that the exercise you keep doing. So like that, physically, you have to be with something. So that also reduce the stress, and then at another way, it reduce the kind of like suffering. And the next one, it talk about that it's kind of like a practicing meditation. Here, practicing meditation doesn't mean you go to this vipassana level of meditation or kind of like that. No, you're giving some kind of rest, and you develop some kind of balance in you to settle down, because we are unconsciously now so much moving, busy. So you reduce that busyness, bring the calmness to you. It is okay, little bit you withdraw from, don't be hurried. Let's put like that. Don't be hurried to do things. You little bit withdraw, and it's like measure twice and cut once. So like that, before you do something again and again, you look into that. You not hurry to jump. So that is one thing. And the next one is reconsider your priorities in your life. What is major? What is minor? Look into that and see, is it so? And is it really major for you? What you keep looking in your life, is it really work for you? Is there anything else? So look again and again and again. Another thing is that be wise with the conventional life, not this spiritual life. The conventional, look at the human history, look at the people and see how other people's behavior, character, and understand that. See that when this COVID situation came, when it happened to one person and everybody start to see, oh, it happened to that person, and it became a lesson to everybody. So like that, look around, and it's kind of like a be wise yourself regarding the life. And you get into this art of living, this not looking for nibbana, no. As ordinary person, you become wise to maintain your life properly. So that is another thing. And the next one is that also very important. So we have to understand this body means in a certain way chemistry. It is chemical. Your thoughts, chemical. Chemistry. So sometimes lack of vitamins, lack of energy can increase the stress, unbalance. So then you have to, maybe you have to look into that and get the doctor's advice and see, because if you don't eat properly, or if you don't sleep properly, and if you don't have enough vitamin in your body, sometimes this body reacts in a certain way. And maybe when you have lack of energy, or sometimes when there are certain that vitamins not in your body, maybe you can go crazy, then everybody going to go have a hard time. And it's especially when you have very lethargic, lack of energy. So how other people live with you? Because you become like a zombie. You have no energy. As a husband, wife, children, parents, if you don't have any strength, how are you going to handle with this life? Then other people become depressed around you, so that itself going to become suffering. No, you have to be energetic. You have to have the strength. So for that, you have to look, if your life is not balanced like that way, maybe you have to go to the doctor and get the advice. Or maybe you have to look into yourself if you know that subject properly. And meditation is important, and at the same time, medication. That also important. Remember that. So then open your mind for that also. Don't think, oh, this is not everything, but there are good medicine. There's more than any other time in this human world. Look at the cancer. Like a few years back, when cancer happens, no choice, people die. But today it's not like that. People survive out of that. And there are many methods. Maybe some people don't find the right method. There are a lot of weird things happen, but still, there are good medicine in the world. And it all came out of the good human heart. And deeper research and to protect this humanity. There are people that try to manipulate things, but there are a lot of good doctors, advanced doctors, and they try to do something and protect this humanity from many other difficulties. So then we have to little bit open when it comes to ourselves and see, do you need that something, help from that? You need that help, advice. And then you take it. And so that way, and you become more better. Because sometimes even that you can't handle the life just by yourself. And that's why most of the medicine it say, take the doctor's advice. Because what you think maybe is not the right way. You need someone's, professional advice for that. So then you open to that. So that also reduce the stress, and that's mean what? That also reduce the dukkha, suffering. See? So that's why we can't criticize the life, we can't criticize the science, we can't criticize this development. We have to use it as a part of the world, and we have to use it as a part of the wisdom path. We have to use this all as a part of the go way to Nibbana or the liberation. Rather than criticizing, blaming to that things, fighting with that, we use that all. So that way you find the clear path, get out of the stress. And that's mean another you get out of the suffering in the conventional level. And when you feel good, when you have a good life, and that will help you to sit properly and practice tranquility meditation for a while. Maybe 1 hour you can sit properly, and because you don't have any trouble mind, not going here and there, you don't have any problems to fix in your day-to-day life, everything so it's there for you. So then that's come as a result of merits. And so then you use that good life to practice meditation, listen to Dhamma, and then you develop your wisdom, and out of that you develop tranquility state, and from there you go to the vipassana level and you attain to the Nibbana. So that is another way. You as ordinary person in this conventional life, you are not a monk, you have this household life, lay life. So see that you can have that path to go to liberation. Use it. And then you enjoy the life, and at the same time you get the best out of that, and you gain the liberation. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left hand, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens to the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart, forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata me sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numudantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.